with NBC.
Okay, well, have fun tonight roasting Bob Costas.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's pretty good, huh?
Okay.
I talked to your secretary, I think.
Okay.
Pamela Reichman.
Who's your ace cameraman?
That's Brad Shannon, the ace cameraman.
Brad, what kind of shot can you get on that? It looks like home movies, doesn't it?
Oh, no, these come out really nice.
Okay.
These come out really nice. We'll send you a tape. We're with Bob Costas. How are you doing tonight?
I am just dandy.
Your show is wrapping up in February. Can you tell us any of the brighter moments, maybe 5 of your greatest interviews?
Well, we've been on for 5.5 years. It's pretty tough to pinpoint. We've had people from all walks of life. We've had 5 people who either were president or ran for president on the show. We've had Academy Award winners, directors, producers, writers, comics, athletes. You know, I almost feel guilty pinpointing a small group. Mike Wallace, for some reason, was always one of my favorite guests. He was just always very warm to me, and I guess we had an affinity for the same sort of thing. Anthony Quinn was a terrific guest, very moving in his recollections of his career and personal relationships. Mel Brooks, Jerry Seinfeld, Richard Lewis, all extremely funny. Elie Wiesel, a Holocaust survivor and Nobel Prize winner, a tremendous guest whose every comment carried great weight. Those would be some of the people on the list. Julian Bond, Arthur Ashe, all great guests.
And maybe who's your favorite sports figure to have on there?
The funniest was Bob Uecker. Ted Williams was a great guest for us, and so was Bob Knight. Those are people that normally don't do extended television interviews and have sort of a hard edge about them, an air of danger and maybe contentiousness that always makes for a good interview. So they were especially good guests.
People have asked me to ask you this. Whenever you watch yourself or listen to yourself, do you criticize it? Because you are probably the best, as tonight we can see everyone's honoring you. Do you criticize yourself when you listen to yourself?
Some people say harshly. I definitely am into self-critiquing on a regular basis, and there is always something I see, either in what I'm doing or in the surroundings, the preparation, the choices the producer or director made. There always, or almost always, is something I see that could be a little bit better, and either I can correct it myself or I can go to someone and in a good-natured way say, look, why don't we try it this way the next time.
So everything, it's like a precise perfection you need for anything you put in.
Well, it's funny. You want to have a freewheeling and spontaneous approach, and people tell me that I do have that. But if you don't have the circumstances around you nailed down, if you're not well prepared, and if you're not certain that the director and producer know what they're doing, and that your partner is well prepared, and that your research is there, and that you know which light on the camera is the one to look at, if you're not a perfectionist about all those things, then you'll have so many peripheral things to worry about that you won't be relaxed enough to be spontaneous and informal. So it seems almost like a contradiction. I am a perfectionist, but I take the work seriously and not myself seriously. And I try to be as well prepared as I can, but I also try to allow for things to just happen off the cuff.
So when you're like doing the Super Bowl and Olympics and all this stuff across the world, you're very relaxed.
Basically. I get some butterflies, but basically I'm relaxed.
Is it easy for you to do?
I wouldn't say it's easy, I'd say it's comfortable.
Especially when you have people like Ditka back there working with you, right?
Well, you know, Mike's a great personality, and when you work with Mike, although I didn't much this year because Jim Lampley was the host of the show, having left it the year before, but when you work with Mike, the thing you want to do is just tap into that personality. You don't have to do as much of the heavy lifting if you can just set him up.
Do you find yourself getting burnt out on things because you left the NFL Live and you're leaving later? Do you just get burnt out and just want to try something different?
Not getting burnt out, but getting out before that happened. You know, I think it's a real good idea to leave before people begin to think, you know, maybe he should get out of there. Beat him to the punch, leave him wanting more. And that pretty much was my idea. I was not burnt out on it yet, but I felt it coming.
So are you excited about getting baseball again on NBC?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing baseball and returning to basketball, which I started back on a regular basis this past week. And of course the '96 Olympics in Atlanta. So it's a nice package of things at NBC Sports for me.
Okay, well enjoy your night and we'll see you in April.
Okay,
Thank you very much.